Dare is a digital advertising agency. We've been actually working with Brunel for about 2 or 3 years now. We take on interns and we have even employed a few people from Brunel who have all turned out to be excellent. We do digital advertising, so web stuff, film, design, email, text, stuff with mobile phones, stuff like that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got to be creative director. I can't draw. I have no artistic kind of capabilities whatsoever, and yet I'm kind of creative director of a department of sort of 45 people or something like that, which is kind of pretty weird. I certainly can't use Photoshop, which again is pretty weird when there's about 45 people in the department who are all Photoshop geniuses, and I kind of sit there, and despite trying several times, I've never even learnt. This slide was put together by one of the Brunel interns. We continue to do more and more complex stuff. So, as I said, a lot of web and development and stuff like that. And I swear to you, I really can't code at all. Rubbish with computers, absolutely rubbish. So you kind of ask yourself, well, James, what do you do? I'm a writer by trade. I don't know if anyone can read this, but it says Troy Yortsky believes in revolution within oneself. I'm not that kind of writer. I'm not a sort of literary writer or anything like that. I looked up Troy Yortsky on Google, and Google hadn't heard of him, so I'm not sure if he exists. This was a shot taken in the laboratory in San Francisco, so maybe it's a kind of cool way of saying Trotsky. I don't know. I'm not a journalist either. I'm not that kind of writer, but I love puns. Penalty lootout, that was the day after Liverpool beat Chelsea in the Champions League semi-final in a penalty shootout, and all the scallies in Liverpool cleaned out the goalkeeper's house while he was being a hero. So what I do is come up with ideas to sell stuff. We're an advertising agency, so we sell stuff, and I'm kind of cool with that. So when people say, you're a sellout, I'm all right with that. That's what we're there for. We're there to sell stuff. Increasingly, the ideas that we do are interactive. We're always trying to sort of get people involved with products, and I kind of believe that in the future, all ideas and all marketing is going to be interactive. This is actually a building site near us, but what they've kind of very cleverly done is, instead of blocking everything off, they've asked people to look at what they're doing, and I think the web is one of these things that's going to make that happen. So more and more people are able to find out what companies are doing, and you can't really hide anymore on the web. So, but at the moment we're kind of doing mostly sort of advertising ideas, and I think there's sort of two ways of doing advertising. There's the kind of evil way and there's the good way, and hopefully what we're doing is good. And the next 4 slides, I promise you, are taken by me while I'm working. This is me taking a shot of my old art director in a disused skyscraper in Amsterdam, brainstorming. Not sure if any of the ideas were any good. This is Flo, who's the other creative director who does a lot of work with Brunel, at a very top-level client meeting with Sony Ericsson in Barcelona. I'm kind of hoping my 20 seconds is going to run out, because I probably shouldn't say anything more about that. That's alcohol there. And this is honestly me on my way to interview some potential creatives for the department in Cannes. There's an advertising festival each year in Cannes, and if you're kind of lucky enough to win some awards, you get flown there on a helicopter, which is pretty cool. So that's me, and that's a porn actress there. This is actually me entertaining the company. Digby said, one of his 6 pillars was fun, and I think he's absolutely right. In this day and age, interactive industry especially, people can pick and choose where they go. So we try and kind of have fun. This was a nerd party 2 years ago, but I kind of think that looks quite in now. I'm kind of happy with that. 2 bits of advice for all the kind of students out there who want to make their mark. Don't take the usual route. Take some time out, take a couple of wrong turns, do things that they don't want you to do. Life will be richer and you'll gain enormously from it later on. And then if you do get the chance to kind of work in an agency or something like that, collaborate with people. There are always people that are better than you at what you do. Trust me, there are people better than me. This is something that we did with Martin Parr, who's one of my kind of photographic heroes. It was a book that came from a website. We gave Martin Parr a Sony Ericsson phone, and he took a load of shots and then got other people to kind of copy his shots. If you become successful, I guess eventually you become a boss, which is kind of quite scary. People start to think of you in totally different terms, and they kind of make their mark in a slightly different way. That was in Berlin. I'm not really sure why it's in English, but I always thought it was kind of quite a cool shot. What do you do when you become the boss? Well, you have to think about kind of getting the kind of new people in. So these are 5 people that we have. You know, these are young people that are part of this thing called Dare School. We've kind of always thought it was really important to get young people in who, you know more than you, who are definitely cooler than you. Don't they just look so happy to be there? There's Emma, she's actually from Brunel. We run that last year, we're running it again this year, so if there's anyone that wants to apply, please do. It's a creative graduate scheme for students that are kind of just finished their course. If you're lucky enough to get through, I can promise you hard work and the occasional game of ping pong. There's no one at Dare who can beat me at ping pong. So please, if you're any good, come along and challenge me. Final slide is just to say thank you. This is a supermarket in Japan, and they got, which is called Sunks, and the name Sunks comes from what they thought thanks sounded like in Japanese, and that's kind of always one of these kind of happy mistakes that has always kind of made its mark on me. So, Sunks.